So, if you are struggling to find goals that inspire you or to actually keep the confidence that you need in your ability to achieve those goals, then we're going to look at today is why healthy habits are essential and actually going to help you build your success when you get them aligned to your goals. So, of course, if you are joining me and tuning in, you know what to do. Obviously, send your thoughts, comments, and questions, and of course, I look forward to hearing what you think. But we want to have goals that inspire us, and I want to know why that's important, right? So why do we need goals that inspire us? Well, we all see this motivation, this passion and purpose, and I'm sure you've seen it out there. People going, "Well, you need to know what you're passionate about. When you do something you're passionate about, then of course it inspires you to work harder." Okay, now that's kind of simple, and it's like if you do a job that you love and it feels like you never work a day in your life. Another quote, okay? So when we do things we're passionate about, we actually put in a little bit more effort, shall we say. But it also feels more effortless. It's a lot easier for us to deal with that and a lot easier for us to stay focused and, of course, keep going. Okay, so things are never easy. We never think things are easy. Remember, it's the yin and yang, it's a roller coaster. We're going to ride the roller coaster. But when we're working towards something that is important, then of course, obviously, it feels a lot better. So, guys, Barbara, Peter, Max, I see a few of you jumping over on LinkedIn. Obviously, great to see you this afternoon. And of course, we are talking about goals. We are talking about staying inspired. We're talking about building the success that we deserve, because there's nothing wrong than having a goal in mind and working towards it and falling short. So, briefly, goal setting. Okay, we've covered this before, and of course, it's something that's out there in like 100-fold. We all know, set a goal, make it specific, get clear about it, the things we want to achieve. So our own business, we want a relationship, we want a career progression, whatever it is, we shape the goal. Okay, so remember the acronym SMART: specific, measurable, God, I can't speak today, accurate, realistic, and also with a time limitation, because we want to set a time that we want to achieve it in. And of course, it's always important to have short, medium, and long term. Okay, so short is sort of like 1 to 3 months, so something you can see happening quite quickly. You also want something sort of medium term, 6 to 12 months roughly, and then of course something long term, we're looking probably the 3 to 5 year. Okay, so give yourself a chance to set something. And I would always advise anybody is to take your time doing this and actually write down something for personal and professional, because there's nothing wrong with having both. In fact, it can really, really help keep you going. Okay, but then we break it down, and this is where we start talking about being inspired and actually staying on our journey, because we can create this goal. So say if, for example, I'm going to set a goal in 3 years time, I'm going to buy a house. Okay, that's my goal. I've given myself a time. Okay, specific. I want to buy a 3 or 4 bedroom house. I want it to be southwest London. Okay, get the specifics. We're getting into a shape here. Or I could say, a certain area. All right, so get specific. We give ourselves a measure. So, okay, how will I know I've achieved that? That's what we're talking about, a measure. Well, I'll have keys to a property, or I've signed a deed and the keys will be on their way. So there's a specific measure. Okay, so when we design this, it can be like, wow, that is great. I'm going to buy a house in 3 years time. Okay, and that feels pretty good, because you go, okay, I've got something to work for. But then we need to break it down to how we're going to achieve that. And this is why normally setting a big goal can be more inspiring to do first, because these are the things that really excite us. Okay, so we set our big goal, maybe do a medium term, we set something for shorter term. We go, okay, what I want to be doing is in 12 months time, I want to have 5% deposit down. Right, I'm just picking figures out there. This is not an actual goal I have at the moment, but this is just sort of give you the example. Okay, so it is that picking something that sort of goes, okay, if I said I want to put, so we'll do, it's a 100 grand house. Okay, there isn't a 100 grand house in southwest London that you can buy, not even on a shared ownership. So it is just a figure that's thrown out the air. But say I was doing a 100 grand house, I go, okay, in 12 months time, I want to save, I want to have a 5% deposit in the bank. Okay, tell you now, guys, I'm also a second time buyer. deposit doesn't even cut it for me anymore, right? So I'll do this and say 12 months time, I want to be saving 5 grand. I want 5 grand sat ready for me to buy a house. Okay. Then I'll do the short term. Okay. The short term, what do I need to do in the next 3 months so that in 12 months I start working towards that goal? So this is where you can look at your money incomes, your expenditures, the sort of balance in the books. You can look at things that you are spending overly on, maybe excessive holidays. There's some things we can't stop. You can't stop food, you can't stop water, you can't stop paying for certain things. But maybe you could adjust debts. Maybe you could take a part-time job one day a week and all the money that came from this was being saved. There are different elements, so you break them all down. Okay. Now, why does healthy habits align? What is the point of doing all this goal setting? Because we always talk about the words inspired action. So has anyone heard the phrase inspired action? Because it is out there and is sort of saturating the world. Okay. And the thing is with inspired action is it needs to align. If it doesn't align, it's going to take you the wrong way. It's like going to this fork in the road. You can keep doing the right thing, but unless you're doing the right thing that's focused where you want to go, it's not going to give you what you want. Okay. Beautiful example of exactly how that can pan out is a client I had, I'm talking about 2013, 2014, one of my old clients. She wanted to obviously get fitter, get stronger and improve it. And of course, the first thing I said is, okay, we're going to do some weights. Okay. Because weights will help strengthen you. And if you want to run, they will improve your running as well, because you will get stronger. Okay. Now, what I also then obviously encouraged her, she was a bit like, oh, okay. And she still wanted to keep up with her running. But what we found is when she kept running, she kept losing weight. So, of course, when she was losing weight, she's like, I'm not getting the shape I want. So, of course, we had to have this very difficult discussion of going, look, you need to ease off the running. We need to put it into this balance if you want to have this sort of shape, because at the moment, your body's just losing weight. So it's not really getting that. So although she was doing all the right things about keeping fit, getting stronger and all this, because it wasn't aligning with the goals of the body shape she wanted to build, it was kind of taken her off track. Okay. So although she was still moving forward, she was going off in this way and she wanted to go this way. Yeah. That's just a visual example, because we all know if we want to, for example, get a nice six pack, okay, we want to tone up, that takes you to ab work. Okay. But I can tell you, you're better off doing like front squats and things like this to get a better toned core. Right. But we're going off subject here, because this is what I say about inspired action. Inspired action isn't necessarily just doing something that's good for you and that's healthy. Inspired action is something that is going to take you towards your goals. Okay. So what you need to be doing then is changing your habits. So our habits take conscious awareness, right? So when we start doing something, like when I started doing these lives, I had to fix it in the diary. I'm not going to lie. When I first started doing live sessions, I was here for half an hour beforehand, checking everything up. Now I'm so used to exactly how this light goes and this one goes. My mic sits here, that I can get ready in a couple of minutes. Okay. So it's these little things that we sort of build to be autonomous, right? And we want the things that we're doing autonomously to be working for us, because then, of course, it becomes easy to create the things that we want. Okay. Now, another example of how we sort of put this into play. Okay. So we can be doing all the right things, but not got every element. So this is where we can fall short, because whether it's doing a career, okay, we want to progress our career. Okay. I'm choosing different examples. Hopefully you can connect with these. So say you want to build up your career and you want to get to the next level, and you do the extra studying, you turn to work on time, you're well presented, you've taken all the time. Yet the minute you go home, you tell yourself, oh, yeah, but so-and-so's already set for the job. And you already have these negative self-talks. Then, of course, all of the things that you're doing that are right, you've misaligned in one element. So you can keep going the right way with everything else, but you're never going to end up where you want to be, because you're going home and telling yourself, oh, they're better than me. Right? I'm not good enough for this. So I'm doing all this. I'm doing the right things. I'm the right person for the job. You go home, they're better than me. They've got the job. Doesn't fit. Okay. It's like a jigsaw. You want to put it together, right? If you ever got a jigsaw puzzle, put it together. This is what we're trying to do, okay? So when we look at our goals and we break them down, so we get our big goal, we get our medium one, we get our short term, that's when we start wanting to look at what we're doing consistently each day and what's going to impact it, okay? So if we are looking to save money, then of course, maybe it's a case of, well, I'm not going to buy a cappuccino from the store. In fact, I can buy my own, or you know what? I can buy a flat white and it saves me £1 a day. And of course, that £1 a day I'm saving 5 days a week. I'm going to put it in a jar and that's going to be savings. See? Little things, although can be really uncomfortable, think about that. £1 a day for 5 days. We'll say it's obviously for 52 weeks. So that's like, what, £26? £260, £260. If I've done my maths right, I might have got it wrong. If I got it wrong, if anyone's got a calculator. But this is the thing. We can slowly build up, and then what's that going to do? Okay, that won't get us towards our goal, but that's going to be a small percentage of it. So these little things that we do every day, if they're going to do the right thing, then of course they're going to keep us moving. Okay, so healthy habits, we can go to the gym, but if you're going to the gym and you're sat like this on your phone when you're on the bike, you're not actually focused on what you're doing. You're still thinking, I got to work and I got to work and I got to do this. You're losing momentum. Yeah. So when we talk about inspired action and healthy habits, we need to make sure that every part covers what we need to do so that we're doing something good for our mind, our body, and of course, how it all functions, right? So that's obviously makes us things that make us feel good. We are having time barriers, time boundaries, okay? So we are sort of giving ourselves that split off and saying, I'm going to my gym here. So I'm going to put my phone away. And if something from work comes through, unless it's the building's burning down, I can leave it for 45 minutes or an hour. It's okay. I can let go and I can really focus on being there. So it's the same, like we look at different elements. So even if you are working out or, like I said, the career, look at what it is that you want to achieve. Look at what it would be to be the person who has that. Okay. So if anyone does like manifesting some mindset stuff, visualization is so powerful. Okay. So you set your goals and you want to know exactly what habits that you're going to need to get that. So imagine you've got that goal. So say I'm going to sit here and go, I imagine I've got this nice, beautiful 3-bedroom house. Okay. I can see the driveway. I can see I've got a nice kitchen, which is light and airy. Get the story. How would it feel for me to be there? What would it look like? Well, how would I be? Right? Would I be sat there in a suit and tie, as it were? And yes, I have worn ties, guys. I have worn ties. It's not a male thing. Would I be sat there in a suit and tie? Would I be sat in my sports gear? What type of car or what sort of brand car would I have? You kind of create this image of how it would look and how it would feel, what I would be doing, all these sorts of things. Okay. And you sit there and go, okay, so I would feel confident. I would be comfortable in my job. I would love the things I was doing. I'd be very excited by what I was doing. So what does that say on me? Okay, well, am I excited by what I do now? Okay, do I need to be doing something more? Am I wasting time going out on a Saturday night just to get a beer? Because, okay, guys, I don't do that. If I want a glass of wine, I have a glass of wine. But am I just going to the pub for the sake of being social? Could I change my social levels that would actually align me to be the person that I want to be and what I want to create? So when we look at it, we create this visual of where we want to be. You then set the habits of going, okay, if I'm this person who's got this 3-bedroom house in Southwest London and I'm earning good enough money so that in 3 years' time I can actually, get all that money and I can buy it and it's no problem, then of course you need to go, okay, what does that person be? And I go, okay, I'm confident, I'm comfortable. So that means I have to do a job I love. I've got to feel good about myself. So again, I would go to the gym, I would eat well, but it's also to have the mindset, a winning mindset. Okay. I wouldn't doubt that I could do it. I would be like, yeah, this is my life. This is how good it is. And I can achieve so much more. So when we talk about healthy habits, if you're doing the things each day that are going to take you to where you want to go, then of course it becomes autonomous and easy, and you will actually notice the results build slower. If you're like my old client who wanted to get stronger, get this body shape that she felt proud of, and you're doing something that is misaligned, you will find you'll be veering off track. And then it gets frustrating, you lack confidence, and all these sorts of things. Okay. So when you are confident in yourself, this is the closing point, guys, because all this links back to our confidence, because you can confidently go to the gym, right? But when you start not seeing the results you want, then of course you start to lose confidence in what you can achieve. So you lose confidence in self. If you're the guy who's going to work, or girl, lady, who's going to work, wanting that progression and all these sorts of things, yet you're going home and all you do is complain about everyone else, you're not spending time getting ready, you're rather having a beer, watching a game, or chatting with the girlfriends on the phone, and you're not spending the time preparing your suits and get yourself ready and all the things you need to be doing, then you're misaligned. So it doesn't matter what you're doing completely in one element, your whole lifestyle needs to align to where you want to go. So guys, if you have found value in that, obviously I will catch up with the comments and questions. Do keep sending them over. Otherwise, enjoy your Thursday. My advice, get goal setting, get inspired, and start shaping the daily habits that you want to achieve. Thursday, we'll look more into this and we'll look at actually building habits and why we can break those barriers. Otherwise, have a great one, guys.